I'm going to share with you something that many overlook. 5 things you should never share with anyone if you want to manifest the life you desire. These are truths that come from within, and keeping them close will help you focus your energy and imagination on what truly matters. So, after watching this, you'll have a new perspective on how to guard your creative power, and you'll understand why these things must remain sacred, kept between you and your inner self. The first thing you should never share is your deepest desires. When you have a goal, a wish, or a desire, it comes from a quiet and special place within you. It is something sacred and personal, and it should remain that way until it comes to life. This is very important because everything begins in the mind, in the imagination. Your desire is like a seed, and your imagination is the rich soil where that seed can grow. Think about it. When you plant a seed in the ground, you don't want to expose it to harsh weather or curious animals before it has a chance to grow. You protect that seed until it has strong roots and can push through the soil. In the same way, your desires need protection. If you start sharing your deepest desires with everyone, you expose that seed to the harsh elements of doubt, criticism, and other people's limited beliefs. Not everyone will understand or support your vision. Some people may have good intentions, but their reactions can be negative. For example, when you share your dreams, someone might say something like, "Are you sure you can do that?" Or, "That sounds difficult." Even if they don't mean to hurt you, these words can plant seeds of doubt in your mind. Instead of feeling encouraged and motivated, you might start to question your abilities or the validity of your dreams. Some people might even project their own fears onto your dreams. If someone has tried to achieve something similar and failed, they might warn you about the difficulties. They might tell you all the reasons why it won't work. This can create a barrier between you and your dream. When you hear their fears, it can weaken your faith in your own abilities. You might start to believe that what you want is too far out of reach. Your imagination is a powerful tool, and it needs a safe space to thrive. When you keep your desires close to your heart, you allow them to grow without interference. This private nurturing is essential. You want to cultivate your ideas in an environment that encourages growth. Just like a plant needs sunlight, water, and good soil, your desires need your belief, focus, and encouragement to flourish. Once you have shared your deepest desires, they become vulnerable. People may not realize the impact of their words, but even well-meaning advice can throw you off course. Imagine a gardener who lovingly tends to a fragile plant. If someone keeps poking at the plant or suggesting it needs to be in a different spot, the gardener might start to doubt their instincts. They might wonder if they are doing it right or if they should really move the plant. This is what can happen to you when you share your desires too soon. By keeping your desires private, you create a protective space where they can develop fully. This does not mean you have to isolate yourself completely. It means being selective about who you share your dreams with. Look for people who understand and support your vision. Seek out those who encourage you, who lift you up instead of bringing you down. When you share your dreams, make sure it is with those who have a positive influence on your life. In my teachings, I've often said, live in the end. When you have a desire, you must already feel as though it's fulfilled. This is the secret to manifestation. But if you share it with others before it has fully bloomed, their reactions can disturb your inner state. They may not believe it's possible, and their disbelief can influence you if you're not careful. You are the creator of your reality, no one else. So, keep your desires to yourself, nurture them, feel the joy of them being fulfilled, and let the world see the result when it's ready. The second thing you should never share is your plans. When you are working on turning your desires into reality, keeping those plans private is very important. You see, planning is not just about making decisions or writing down steps. Planning is a powerful act of creation. It's the bridge between where you are now and where you want to be. Every plan you make is like laying down a path toward the future you want to experience. It is a process of turning your thoughts and dreams into something real. But when you share your plans with others, you open the door for their opinions, advice, and sometimes even their negativity. Even if people mean well, their words can affect how you think about your plans. They might tell you what they think is possible or impossible based on their own experiences or beliefs. This can create confusion in your mind. You might start doubting yourself or questioning your choices, even though you were confident before. This is where the real danger lies. When you listen to other people's opinions about your plans, it can dilute your focus. Instead of staying fully committed to your vision, you might start worrying about what others think or how they will judge your decisions. This takes away from the energy you should be putting into making your dreams a reality. Every time you question yourself because of someone else's opinion, you are giving away a little bit of your power. Remember, your imagination is your most powerful tool. It is where your plans are born, and it is the space where you create your future. In your imagination, there are no limits. You can dream as big as you want, and nothing is too far out of reach. Your imagination is the workshop of your soul, where all your desires take shape before they come into your life. When you share your plans too soon, or with the wrong people, you let outside influences into your workshop. This can disrupt your creative process. Think of it like this. If you're in the middle of building something, and someone walks in and starts moving things around or suggesting changes, it's going to slow you down. You won't be able to focus on your original plan because you'll be distracted by their input. It's the same with your personal plans. When you keep them to yourself, you are protecting them from outside interference. You are giving yourself the space to focus fully on making them happen. This is how you keep your energy aligned with your desires. Instead of being scattered by different opinions or doubts, your energy remains focused and clear. One of the reasons why it's so important to protect your plans is that the early stages of creation are delicate. When you're first working on something new, it's not yet fully formed. It's like planting a seed. That seed needs time to grow strong roots before it can break through the soil. If you keep digging it up or exposing it to harsh conditions, it won't grow properly. Your plans work the same way. When they are still new, they need time to grow in the safety of your own mind and heart. This is the time when you nurture them with your imagination and belief. You are giving them the strength they need to become real in your life. But if you expose them too soon to other people's doubts or criticism, it's like exposing that seed to bad weather before it's ready. It's not about keeping secrets or being closed off from the world. It's about understanding the creative process and protecting what you are building until it's strong enough to stand on its own. Once your plans have grown and you have taken action on them, you can share your success. But in the early stages, it's important to keep your focus inward, on your imagination and your desires, so that nothing distracts you. I once said, "Your imagination is God in action." This means that what you imagine with conviction and persistence will come to pass. But if you share your plans prematurely, you risk scattering that energy. You risk letting doubt creep in, not because you don't believe in your own power, but because others' opinions can cause you to waver. Keep your plans between you and your imagination. Let them grow and evolve in the silence of your mind until they're ready to unfold in the physical world. The third thing you should never share is your fears. Everyone experiences fear at some point in life, whether it's fear of failure, fear of the unknown, or fear of something personal. But your fears are deeply personal, and it is important to understand that they are yours alone to deal with and overcome. While it might feel tempting to talk about what scares you with others, doing so can actually make the fear stronger. Let's explore why. When you speak about your fears, you are, in a way, giving them more life and power. Think about it. Every time you say out loud, "I'm afraid of this," you are reminding yourself of that fear. You're keeping it alive in your mind. This is how fear grows. What might have started as a small worry can turn into something bigger just because you keep talking about it. It's like feeding the fear with your own thoughts and words. Fear is nothing more than an illusion. It's something your mind creates when you start imagining bad outcomes or thinking about the worst-case scenarios. In reality, most fears aren't based on anything solid. They come from our imagination running wild. Maybe you're afraid of failing at something, but that fear is really just a story you're telling yourself about what might happen, not what will happen. It's your imagination working against you instead of for you. Fear, in essence, is your imagination being used the wrong way. Just like your imagination can help you create positive things, it can also make things seem worse than they really are. When you focus on fear, you are imagining the worst outcomes, the things you don't want to happen. And as I've taught many times, what you consistently imagine, you will eventually bring into your life. This is one of the key teachings in manifesting. Your thoughts and imagination shape your reality. So when you let fear take over your thoughts, you are, in a sense, attracting those fearful situations into your life. Let's break it down further. If you spend time thinking about what scares you, imagining all the things that could go wrong, and sharing those fears with others, you're giving your energy to those negative thoughts. You are focusing on what you don't want, and that focus is powerful. The more you think about what you fear, the more real it feels. Even though it's just in your mind, it starts to seem like a real possibility. Think of fear like a shadow. A shadow looks scary because it distorts the shape of something. But in reality, the shadow itself can't hurt you. It only looks frightening because it's an exaggeration of something that's harmless. Fear works the same way. It distorts reality and makes things seem worse than they actually are. And just like with shadows, the more attention you give to fear, the bigger and scarier it seems. When you talk about your fears with others, you might think you're just venting or looking for comfort. But in doing so, you're actually feeding that fear. Instead of shrinking, it grows. The more you talk about it, the more you think about it, and the more real it becomes in your mind. And soon, it can start to influence your actions and decisions, holding you back from doing the things you want to do. Now, this doesn't mean you should ignore your fears completely or pretend they don't exist. It's okay to acknowledge them quietly to yourself and work through them in private. But talking about them, especially to the wrong people, can make them harder to overcome. You are giving them too much power over your mind and life. Instead of focusing on fear, it's much better to shift your focus to what you want to create and experience. Use your imagination for good. Imagine the best possible outcomes instead of the worst. Picture yourself succeeding, being confident, and overcoming any challenge. The same power that fuels fear can also fuel success and happiness when used correctly. The fourth thing you should never share is your weaknesses. This might sound a bit surprising at first, but it's important to understand why. We all have weaknesses, areas where we feel less confident, less capable, or simply not as strong. Maybe it's something about your skills, your personality, or a certain situation where you feel unsure of yourself. That's perfectly normal because no one is perfect. However, even though it's normal to have these feelings, it's not always helpful to talk about them openly or share them with others without careful thought. When you talk about your weaknesses, you actually make them stronger in your own mind. The more you focus on them, the bigger they seem. For example, if you keep telling yourself, "I'm not good at speaking in front of people," you're not just stating a fact, you're reinforcing that belief. Every time you say it, you believe it a little more, and it becomes harder to overcome. It's like you're giving your weakness more power than it really has. What you focus on grows, and when you talk about your weaknesses, you're making them grow in your mind. Your weaknesses are not set in stone. They are not permanent parts of who you are. In fact, they are just reflections of how you currently see yourself. Think about it like this. The way you see yourself today is based on the beliefs you've built up over time. Maybe at some point in your life, you felt like you weren't good at something, and over time, that became a belief you held on to. But just because you believe something now doesn't mean it has to stay that way. Beliefs can change, and so can the way you see your weaknesses. It's also important to realize that weaknesses are not the same for everyone. What you consider a weakness might not seem like a big deal to someone else. And in the same way, what someone else struggles with might come naturally to you. That's because weaknesses are often tied to our individual beliefs and perceptions. They're not universal truths, and they certainly don't define who you are. They are only as real as you make them. Now, this doesn't mean you should completely ignore your weaknesses. It's okay to acknowledge them privately to yourself. Recognizing areas where you want to improve can be a healthy part of personal growth. But sharing them openly with others can sometimes do more harm than good. When you share your weaknesses with the wrong people, they might use them against you, even unintentionally. Some people might judge you, and others might see you differently because of what you've shared. Even well-meaning friends could end up focusing on your weaknesses in ways that don't help you grow. It's also worth considering how you feel when you talk about your weaknesses. Often, when we share these feelings, we might expect comfort or reassurance from others. But even if we receive kind words, the act of speaking about our weaknesses can make them feel more real to us. We start to believe our limitations even more, and this belief can hold us back from growing and becoming better. By constantly talking about what we think we can't do, we limit ourselves. The good news is that weaknesses are temporary. Just like fear, they are not a permanent part of who you are. They are simply a result of how you view yourself at this moment in time. And just as easily as those beliefs formed, they can be changed. With the right mindset and determination, you can shift your focus away from your weaknesses and start building on your strengths instead. You can choose to see yourself as capable, confident, and able to grow beyond any limitations. Instead of talking about your weaknesses, try focusing on your potential and strengths. Even if there are things you're not great at right now, you can work on them privately without giving them too much attention. In my teachings, I often say, change your conception of yourself, and you will automatically change the world in which you live. This idea is powerful and important. It means that how you see yourself shapes your reality. If you view yourself as weak or incapable in any area, you will attract situations that prove that belief. For example, if you think you are not good at public speaking, you may find yourself avoiding opportunities to speak in front of others. You might feel anxious when faced with such situations, and this reinforces the idea that you are weak. But here's the good news. You have the power to change how you see yourself. If you begin to view yourself as strong, capable, and confident, your reality will start to reflect that new belief. Imagine how different your life could be if you shifted your perspective. Instead of avoiding situations that make you uncomfortable, you would face them with courage and confidence. You would step into opportunities with a sense of belief in your abilities. It's essential to keep your weaknesses to yourself. When you talk about your weaknesses, you give them power. You make them more real and significant than they need to be. Think about it. When you keep your struggles private, they lose their strength. By not speaking about them, you take away their ability to define you. Instead of focusing on what you can't do, turn your attention to what you want to achieve. Instead of sharing your weaknesses, focus on imagining yourself as the person you wish to be. Picture yourself as someone who is confident and capable. Hold that image firmly in your mind. Visualization is a powerful tool that can help you create your desired reality. When you visualize, you send a clear message to your subconscious mind about who you are becoming. This process is like planting a seed in your mind. The more you nurture that image, the more it will grow and flourish. As you begin to see yourself differently, you will notice that the world around you starts to change. Your actions will align with your new self-image. For instance, if you imagine yourself as a confident speaker, you may find that you are more willing to speak up in meetings or present ideas to others. You might even seek out opportunities to speak in front of groups. As you take these steps, you reinforce your new belief about yourself. The world is like a mirror. It reflects back what you believe about yourself. If you have a positive self-concept, you will attract positive experiences. People will respond to you differently when you carry yourself with confidence. They will see you as someone who knows their worth and this can lead to better opportunities and relationships. On the other hand, if you continue to focus on your weaknesses, you will attract situations that confirm those beliefs. You may find yourself in circumstances where you feel insecure or inadequate. This can create a cycle of negativity that is hard to break. To change this pattern, you must take control of your thoughts and beliefs. The fifth and final thing you should never share is your achievements. Now, at first, this might seem strange or even a little counterintuitive, but let me explain why it's important. When you achieve something, whether it's a big goal or a small personal victory, it's a direct result of your inner work. It's something you've created through your imagination, your focus, and your persistence. These accomplishments are your own personal triumphs, and they reflect the power you hold within. They are not just random acts of luck or chance. They come from your ability to use your mind and imagination to shape your reality. But here's where it gets tricky. When you share your achievements too soon, or with the wrong people, you risk reducing the significance and energy of what you've accomplished. It's important to remember that not everyone around you will understand the journey you've been on or the effort it took to get to where you are. Some people may seem supportive on the surface, but underneath, they may not fully appreciate what it took for you to succeed. Worse, some may feel jealous or envious of what you've accomplished. Their reactions, whether they're silent or outspoken, can affect how you feel about your own success. You see, the way others respond can influence your energy and confidence, especially if you're not careful. When you share your achievements with the wrong people, you might start doubting yourself. Someone might make a comment that makes you second-guess your accomplishment, or they might downplay it, making it seem smaller than it really is. This can be discouraging, especially when you've worked so hard. The joy and satisfaction you originally felt can be diminished by someone else's lack of understanding or support. They may not celebrate with you, but instead, they might criticize or dismiss your hard work. And this can take away from the pride you should be feeling. Another thing to consider is that some people may even try to take credit for your achievements. They might claim that they helped you along the way, or that you wouldn't have succeeded without them. This can be frustrating, because it takes away from your own efforts and makes it seem like your success wasn't truly yours. It's important to protect your accomplishments and keep them sacred. You worked for them. You earned them. They are a reflection of your inner power, not someone else's. By keeping your achievements to yourself, at least in the beginning, you allow them to grow in their own time. You give yourself space to truly enjoy and appreciate what you've accomplished without anyone else's opinions or judgments getting in the way. It's like allowing a seed to grow in the dark before exposing it to the light. If you show it too soon, it might not have had the chance to fully develop. But when you keep it to yourself, it has the opportunity to flourish. This doesn't mean you should never share your successes. But it's important to be mindful of who you share them with and when you choose to share them. The right time will come, and you'll know when it's safe to let others in on your achievements. You want to share with people who genuinely support you, people who want to see you succeed, and who will celebrate your victories without jealousy or negativity. More importantly, sharing your achievements can shift your focus from creation to validation. When you seek validation from others, you give away your power. You begin to rely on their approval instead of your own inner knowing. This weakens your connection to your creative power. Instead of seeking validation, stay focused on your next desire, your next goal. Keep moving forward, keep creating, and let your achievements speak for themselves. The world will notice in due time. So, your imagination is the tool through which you shape your life. Let them grow and unfold in the silence of your mind. When you do this, you will find that your manifestations come with greater ease, and your reality will shift in ways you never thought possible. Through unwavering belief in ourselves and our connection to the divine source, we can manifest our dreams and create a world that reflects our highest aspirations. This journey of self-discovery and transformation is not only a testament to our limitless potential, but also a reminder that we are all essential threads in the cosmic tapestry of life. Let us be inspired by this profound truth and strive to live each day in alignment with our true selves, guided by the light of faith and the boundless love of the divine source. Have you ever felt like you were working hard to make your dreams come true, but nothing was happening? Have you ever wished for a full life, only to find that you had to work hard and have little? If so, what if I told you there was an easier way to get everything you want? What if I told you that you don't have to do anything to be prosperous and happy? It may sound too good to be true, but there is a simple way to get rich and make all your wishes and desires come true, and you can do it. The key to achieving this effortless way of manifesting is faith. Faith is a powerful force that can move mountains and create miracles. It's the belief that something is possible, even when it seems impossible. When you have complete faith in yourself and the universe, you can command your desires into being. You don't need to struggle or strain to make things happen. Instead, you can tap into the infinite power of the universe and trust that everything you desire is already on its way to you. But how can you cultivate this kind of faith? How can you trust in yourself and the universe when everything seems to be going wrong? The first step is to let go of fear and doubt. Fear and doubt are the biggest obstacles to faith. They make you second-guess yourself and the universe. They make you believe that you're not good enough, or that your desires are too big or too impossible. But the truth is that there's nothing you can't achieve when you have faith. The second step is to focus on your desires. What do you want to manifest in your life? Do you want more money, a fulfilling career, a loving relationship, whatever it is? Focus on it with laser-like precision. Visualize yourself already having it. Feel the emotions of having it. Imagine yourself living the life you desire. This is the power of imagination. When you can see, feel, and experience your desires in your mind's eye, you create a powerful energetic vibration that attracts those desires to you. The third step is to take inspired action. Faith without action is just wishful thinking. You need to align your actions with your desires and trust that everything is unfolding in perfect timing. This means taking action towards your dreams, even when it seems like nothing is happening. It means being open to opportunities and taking advantage of them when they arise. It means being willing to step out of your comfort zone and do things that scare you. When you take inspired action, you create momentum towards your desires, and things start to happen effortlessly. But what about when things don't seem to be happening? What about when you've been focusing on your desires and taking inspired action, but nothing seems to be working? This is when it's important to remember that man must prepare for the thing he has asked for, even when there isn't the slightest sign of it in sight. This means that you need to keep the faith and keep taking inspired action, even when it seems like nothing is happening. You need to trust that everything is working out for your highest good, even if you can't see it yet. So how can you prepare for the things you've asked for? The first step is to be grateful for what you already have. Inspired is the key to unlocking more abundance in your life. When you're grateful for what you already have, you create a positive, energetic vibration that attracts more good things to you. The second step is to stay focused on your desires. Keep visualizing, feeling, and imagining what it would be like to have your desires already manifested. The third step is to be open to new experiences and opportunities. Sometimes, the universe will present you with unexpected opportunities that will help you manifest your desires. Be open to them and take advantage of them when they arise. The subconscious mind can be trained to achieve specific goals if you regularly imagine yourself as already having reached those goals. When you do this, the more you think about it, the more real it feels. This makes it more likely that you will succeed. Visualization helps you overcome doubts and fears. Many people don't reach their full potential because they believe negative things about themselves or their abilities. These limiting beliefs hold them back from success. By creating a positive self-image through visualization, you can replace those negative beliefs with positive ones that will help you achieve your goals. When visualizing, it's recommended to make it as detailed as possible. Involve all your senses in the experience. For example, If you want to become a successful musician, imagine yourself already in that position. Picture yourself standing on stage under the bright lights, hearing the applause of the crowd and feeling the joy of performing. The more vivid and engaging your visualization is, the more powerful it becomes. The key is to make it feel real in your mind. You can enhance the effects of visualization by combining it with other practices like affirmations, meditation, and gratitude. Affirmations are positive statements you repeat to yourself to strengthen your belief in your abilities. By saying affirmations, you create a sense of confidence and boost your self-image. Meditation, on the other hand, helps calm your mind, improve your focus, and gives you clarity in your life. Practicing gratitude allows you to become more aware of the good things in your life and appreciate them. Gratitude shifts your focus away from lack and towards abundance. In this vast and constantly changing universe, there are endless opportunities to change your life through belief. The idea that it is done to you as you think is a powerful motivator for transformation. When you believe in the power of your thoughts and align them with your desires, you open the door to success. Emotions are the way our subconscious mind understands what we want. They help us send our deepest wishes and dreams to the subconscious, which then works to bring those dreams to life. When we tap into the power of our emotions, we open the door to manifesting our desires. This process shows us how truly powerful we are and how we can shape the world around us. The first step in using the subconscious mind is learning its language, emotions. Once we know what we want in life, we need to create a mental picture that shows what it would look like if we already had it. This act of visualizing requires us to focus, use our imagination, and truly believe that our dreams can come true. When we build this mental image, it's important to feel the emotions that go along with reaching our goals. For visualization to work, the scene we create in our mind needs to feel real and natural. It has to connect with our true desires and feel right to us. As we imagine different scenarios and emotions, we start to understand what feels the most real and true. This connection between what we consciously want and what our subconscious responds to is key to making our dreams come to life. Life is always changing, and sometimes we go through experiences we don't like. But it's important to remember that reality is not set in stone. We can always change it. When something doesn't match what we want, we can use our imagination to change the scene and how we feel about it. This is called revision. By changing our thoughts and emotions about a situation, we remove the bad experience and replace it with a new, better vision that fits what we truly want. As we practice revision, we see the incredible power of our subconscious mind at work.